What's up, Broncos country? Welcome back to the channel. Wanted to make this video last Wednesday during the bye week. Just life happened, never got a chance to get to it. Oh man, but anywho, we're a little over halfway through the season, and just want to come in here and talk about my thoughts on the current state of the Denver Broncos. So, as everyone knows, we're sitting at 5-5, coming off of a bad loss against Philly. So honestly, I've been blind as a bat for past couple seasons, but throughout this season, I've really opened my eyes and I put the puzzle together. A lot about Broncos country, after the Super Bowl 50 win. We lost some key players. We lost Malik Jackson. He was a John Elway draft pick and was a good one, but they didn't keep him, and that was a mistake. They should have kept Malik Jackson. He's still really productive, even though he's older now. Same with Danny Trevathan. We really haven't had a good linebacker like that since he left. Kenny Young, maybe you can say that he's probably the best middle linebacker we've had since Danny Trevathan, but I don't know, that's debatable. But when I really put the pieces together, honestly, 2016 wasn't that bad of a season. It was kind of expected after Peyton retired, and I still think we did pretty good. We went 9-7, but the year after that, man, that's when Kubiak stepped down. I think that was our first mistake. So bringing in the new coach, I think we messed up. Obviously, we shouldn't have taken Vic Fangio. I really wanted Kyle Shanahan. We should have taken Kyle Shanahan, young offensive-minded coach. I think that would have been just what we needed, because basically that's when we should have started the rebuild. But like I said, when you put everything together and you kind of make a pyramid and you look at the top of the pyramid and the mess we're in right now, you got to look at who created this mess. And I never wanted to blame him for anything. I said he could do whatever he want. He won us the Super Bowl. But I was blinded by my love for Mr. Elway. Great player back in his heyday, but man, his resume as a GM is a little scary. I think he's drafted some great players, but honestly, it seems like he keeps around the players that people question about, rather than keep the players around that have potential to be good. And if you develop them, they turn out to be good players. But no, he lets those players go because he's like, all right, I got that pick right. Okay, I proved a point. But we got to keep around the guys who don't think I made a good choice and make them look good. But yeah, those guys who he lets go, they go on to other teams, they succeed. But also, a lot of the coaches that John Elway brings in, I feel they just don't fit well with the culture in Denver. We get a lot of coaches that are popular because they've had a great stint before their tenure in Denver, but the names just don't work, man. They just don't fit in the system that we're used to having here. But biggest thing I'm trying to say here, guys, is we have an ownership problem. All right. And we definitely need to get John Elway out of the building. I hate to say it, but love him as a player. I don't love him as a GM, man. He's just slowly tearing down this team. I think we're light years behind. After Super Bowl 50, when Peyton retired, and some key defensive players left from that Orange Crush 2.0, we should have started rebuilding. But no, it was all plug and play from then and there. John and I went out, got some big name players, tried to plug them in, and they didn't work. And when they didn't work, cut them, plug in more veterans, and they haven't worked either. So, we really need to get an owner in here that's going to worry about his ownership. And we need to get John Elway out of the building. Let George Paton do his thing. I think George Paton wants to get this team back to winning again. I think he's going to do a great job as long as he gets the keys to the team. I mean, right now, John Elway definitely is in the back making these moves still. But it's kind of funny because if you look at the players on the roster and throughout the season, the players that have been successful and the players that have struggled, a lot of the players that are struggling are players that John Elway took. And the George Paton players are actually doing pretty good this year. Javonte Williams, Pastor Tane, who else? Quentin Miernes. I think he's going to be our long-term right guard. So he's really hit on those picks. But I don't know. I think the Garrett Bowles experiment, guys, is probably over. I mean, he just got put on the COVID list today. He tested positive. But, I mean, he had one good year, and now he's back to doing his old mistakes. So, I don't know. I feel like we could definitely replace him, depending on who is available in the draft. I really don't want to get any more veteran linemen, except for linemen that are good fits. Okay, no more big name, none of that. All right. We need to bring a culture back in here, get the player personnel back in here. It's going to help this team win again. Because right now, what we got going on, this is not winning football. And it's sad, guys. It's really sad watching what this team once was and what it's become every single Sunday. It's just tough. But a lot of people wanted Vance Joseph out, and they're like, we need a new head coach. What happened? Got a new head coach, and not doing too well. Well, you got to look at what he's surrounded with, all right? You got John Elway's mess of players they had to come in and deal with. You have his mess of coaches around him. You had to deal with Pat Shurmur. That was a terrible freaking sign. I would rather have kept Rich Scangarello, to be honest. And Ed Donatel, he's not really the defensive coordinator, in my opinion, to be honest. He's kind of like Vic Fangio's little puppet or something. Like, Vic Fangio's still calling the defensive plays. Freaking Ed Donatel, he's like, he was a secondary coach before he came here. That's what he should have stayed as. But to be honest, I really don't understand why Vic Fangio wanted to be a defensive coordinator and head coach and take the blame for being a head coach. Like, he should have came here and just been defensive coordinator and just solely became that. I think that he would have been better, and a lot more Bronco fans would appreciate him right now than they do. But it's gonna suck. I actually do think he's a good defensive coordinator, but I feel like the stress of being a head coach along with defensive coordinator, that's a lot. So he's gonna go somewhere else, probably be defensive coordinator, and he's gonna, be a good coach again. Just like Vance Joseph went over the Cardinals, and he's made that defense really good. And defensive coordinator before what? Ed Donatello. It was Joe Woods. Guess what? He left our team. He's successful now with the Browns, I believe. And, yeah, I'm pretty sure Scangarello, is he with the 49ers? If he is, then, yeah, he's successful. He's really good with young quarterbacks. I thought he did a good job with Drew Lock. But then they're like, nope, taking him away. He didn't do good with the veteran. We got to plug and play. We're not developing anybody. We're not rebuilding. We're rebooting. No, we can't just keep doing that every year, guys. That's just my honest opinion. We need to build a culture again, and we need to draft and develop some Denver Broncos. All right. I mean, the offense, I feel like that is probably the only side of the ball that's kind of being developed. I mean, the defense is still like they're plug and playing veterans. But like we're a defensive minded team, and honestly, I just don't feel like the veterans are all clicking. So we really need to keep the young pieces. Like I believe they should re-sign Kenny Young. I feel like he'd be a great young middle linebacker to command the defense, to keep around. I think him and I don't know, Josie Jewell and Alexander Johnson, they're probably gonna dip after the season. But yeah, Kenny Young, Baron Browning, I think that's a good building block. Same with Jonathan Cooper. I'd like to re-sign Malik Reed in the offseason. I think he's been really good in place of Von Miller. And Bradley Chubb, I don't know if he's a free agent or not, but we'll see. I think maybe this next year is his contract year. I could be wrong, but I don't know. If Bradley Chubb balls out, then we need to keep him. But honestly, we might be able to move on from Bradley Chubb if those guys can ball out, because he's just too injury prone, man. He's a great player when he's on the field, but he's just too injury prone. But, we definitely need to retool that O-line. I would keep Calvin Anderson around as a depth piece. I think he's pretty good at swing tackle. I don't know if I'm really a believer in Lloyd Cushenberry. The only guys I really think need to stay are Quinn Miernes and Dalton Reisner. I mean, some Bronco fans have given up on Dalton Reisner, but I still think he's going to be a good tackle. I feel like just the playbook from Pat Shurmur's kind of made Dalton Reisner struggle. I thought he did great last year, but this year, he's struggled a little bit. But, we need to get freaking Mike Munchak's head out of his butt. Get these old linemen back into shape. Other than that, I think the main thing, guys, is just we got to get that ownership situation figured out. I really do not know who's going to own the team. I hope it's somebody that we don't know about. If Jeff Bezos or Jay-Z buys the team, I'm going to be a little scared, to be honest. So, I don't know. Hopefully someone comes out of nowhere, buys the team that we don't know about, and really cares about the team and brings a culture back, just makes this team feel like a family again, I guess you could say. So right now, it's just all over the place. It's a mess. It's a mess, to say the least. So, I don't know, guys. Anywho, I think that's going to do it here. I guess quick little recap. We got to get this ownership situation fixed at the end of the year. John Elway, got to kick you out. I hate to say it, but, when you just look at the whole picture, man, he's brung this mess and really ruined the culture here. So, got to get rid of him. Let George Payton be the full-on GM. Have him rebuild this team. Honestly, Vic Fangio's probably going to be fired, but, it's probably a good thing for him because he has crappy player personnel around him. I really wish that he would just be defensive coordinator and not take the stress as a head coach. Because I think he's definitely a better defensive coordinator than a head coach. But, it is what it is. So, if that happens, I do think we should bring in a young offensive-minded coordinator to be the next head coach. Other than that, get rid of Shermer. I would definitely get rid of Tom McMahon, even though I doubt they will. And, we really just need a clean house. If that's going to happen, just need a clean house. I don't think this coaching staff is it. Same with Ed Donatel. I would just let him go with Fangio. And be honest, get rid of that freaking strength and conditioning trainer, because last 2 seasons, this one and last year, all our key guys are getting hurt and are basically done for the season. So come on, gotta get someone in there that's gonna keep these guys, make them Iron Man, because right now they are freaking Glassman. But I could rant about this for quite a while, but I'm gonna end it there, I promise. Any Broncos country, leave your comments down below on your thoughts and what the Denver Broncos should do next. I think I pretty much hit the nail on the coffin. I don't think I really left anything out, but anywho, we'll see what happens for the rest of this year. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. On that, stay safe, be good. Go Broncos. See you guys in the next one. Peace.